What's up, Action Tribe? AJ here, founder and host of My Seven Chakras. And we are finally here. We've got about 13 minutes left for the presentation to start, and we already have 40 attendees. And I think that is amazing. Thanks a lot for your time today. And I'm sure that you're going to have an amazing session, loads of takeaways. So just allow us a couple of minutes to sort of set up and get things ready as we wait for more and more people to join us. And again, this is going to be a really interactive session. It's not just a presentation. So as soon as you have a question, just type it in. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions as we progress through the presentation, but make sure you write down your questions, and all questions will be answered at the end of the presentation.
Hello, AJ.
Hello, Dr. Leslie. How are you doing?
I'm doing really great, thank you.
Wonderful.
To see
So
you.
really excited to have you today, and can't wait to dig in.
I know, it is very exciting, and I'm so happy to see so many people there already. It's great.
You know, people already want to ask you so many questions. We've already got 2 questions. So I'm completely confident that people can't wait to begin. And I know for a fact, the content that you're about to share today is really transformational. So quick question, are you able to share your screen? Is that functionality enabled?
Yeah, let me do that now.
Okay,
Share the screen, and
there it is.
yeah, and then let's find the slide deck. Although, of course, I'll have to put the slide deck off and on, won't I? So give us a second.
Yep.
There's the slides.
There it is.
Yay.
Perfect. Wait, so we have about 11 minutes more, and we have people joining in. We have 41 people right now. So today's webinar, we cap off at 100. So if you get a full house, that's wonderful. I know that many of our listeners are based in different time zones, so they might not be able to access the webinar, but then we're going to send them a replay link so that they're able to enjoy it later on.
That's great, because I know I did have a few emails from people today. Yeah. Obviously, on our side, at the Pacific side, they're still coming home from work, some of them.
Right.
So.
Yes. Yeah. Thank God for technology, right?
I know.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like, I guess 20, 30 years back, this would be a presentation at a seminar, right? And somebody had to travel, maybe fly down and watch the host. And now somebody in the comfort of their homes can present as well as attend. So
I know we're really blessed. I mean, I think it's part of the spiritual awakening that's going on the planet, is that we have this amazing technology that can just plug us all in to all of this fabulous spiritual information.
Beautiful. I'm going to start with some shout outs over here. We have Nikki Hayhurst, who says,
hello, Nikki.
She says, guess my intuition still needs some work. Nikki, you have that gift within yourself. You just need to tap into it. And I'm sure it's waiting to come out. We have, let me see, Glenn Norikane. I hope I'm pronouncing your surname properly. We have Tracy, who is still waiting. And this was a while back. We have Nancy Norvell. And these are the people who've actually texted something, but I'm sure there are more people who are going to use the chat box. The chat box is right below, super simple. In fact, it's on the right. So you type in whatever you want and just hit the send button. And we've got loads of people who have already signed up. We have got Maria, Michelle, Leah, Jessica, Stephanie, Lara, Dahlia, Michelle, Evelyn, Laurie, Jennifer, Beth, Denise, Karen, Nikki, Wislava. I'm sorry if I've not pronounced your name properly. We got Megan, Steph, Cher, Larry. I know Larry because he is in our Facebook group. Very active. Shares so many amazing things with us. Tonya, Vera, Flavia, Raylyn, Franny, Glenn, Sandy, Brenda, Giovanna, Karen, Dizzy, Carolyn, Nancy, Tracy, Bridget, Lillian, Pat, Roxy, Courtney, Chu, Karen, Christina, and Lisita. And I'm sure we're going to be joined by more people, and people are posting more and more questions. I'm going to be the guy who collects the questions today, so that we can have each and every question answered by the end of today's presentation. We still have 8 minutes left. We'll just wait. I'm going to put it on the presentation mode, and we'll come back as soon as we have just about 3 minutes left. Carolyn, who says, "Hi, Leslie. Carolyn here from Maple Ridge."
Oh, hello. Oh, hello, Carolyn. Oh, I recognized a few other names there. So hello, everyone who knows me already. I'm so glad that you're here. This is fantastic.
We've got Jennifer from Minneapolis, Minnesota. You got Lara from North Carolina, USA. You got Nikki all the way from Sydney.
Wow.
That's beautiful. What time is it in Sydney right now? You know?
It's their morning. The next day.
Wow.
So it's Thursday morning.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot for taking the time. All right, we'll just wait some more and come back in about 3 to 4 minutes. It's Thursday, nearly 1 p.m. Just saw the message. We got 6 minutes left. We have 50 people already in our group. It's exciting.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. We got Megan from Massachusetts here. Erica, where are you from, Erica? Please type in the chat box. We got Cher.
Cher. Hi, Cher.
Oh, we've got Erica from the OC in California, Orange County. I used to watch that show a long time back.
Housewives of Orange County.
No. There was another show called The OC, not the Housewives of Orange County. Although I'm sure that might be a good show. We're going to have a lot of fun here. I think the most important thing is to just have fun and just connect, right? We're going to share a lot of information, some knowledge, some of which might be a bit esoteric, but at the end of the day, it's all about taking action and having fun. Whoa, we got somebody from Vancouver, Vera. Is it Vera? I'm mispronouncing a lot of names today. We got Stephanie from Miami.
Cool.
What about the rest, people? Where are you from? The name of your city and your country. And in most cases, it's obvious which country you're from if you post a city. Orlando, Florida. Beautiful.
Who is it from Orlando?
Tracy. Bridget is from Orlando, and Tracy is from Phoenix, Arizona.
Great.
$55, getting there, people joining, especially here on the West, people coming from work, people are tired, people are maybe, a bit stressed out. First day, first working day for many people of the year. So many emails, so many calls, so many meetings, but people are still here. And that speaks a lot about the dedication and determination of the people today to make 2017 a phenomenal year. Well, Grayson, Georgia. We've got Dahlia from Grayson, Georgia. Alicia from Madoc, which is in Canada. Tonya from Munster, Indiana. Laurie from Punta Gorda. Did I pronounce that well? Punta Gorda?
That's in Belize.
Okay, this one is in Florida.
Okay, because there's a Punta Gorda in the south of Belize.
Yeah, exactly why I think so in some cases the country is required.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you have Michelle from Arizona. I love so many different places. It's not like everyone's from the same place. Different places in Canada, United States. We've got people from Australia. I wonder if we have somebody from UK. Dr. Leslie, you're from UK, right?
I am, but I don't think
we need somebody else.
They'd be up at 4 o'clock in the, 6 o'clock now, add 8 hours.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the right time for them unless they're an insomniac.
Or if they want to change their life today.
True, if they really want to change their life today.
Beautiful. Okay, so let me show our faces once again. Listeners, Action Tribe, can you see us? Can you see me? Can you see Dr. Leslie Phillips? I just want to make sure that our videos are working properly. We have yes. All right, that's perfectly fine. And with that, welcome, Action Tribe, to today's special webinar. And today's webinar is called Awaken Your Intuition. I'm AJ, host and founder of My 7 Chakras. Many of you guys are regular listeners of the show, guys and gals, and some of you might be new to the show as well. And for that, I thank you for your time. Thanks a lot for joining us today. Now, many of you all have already shared where you are listening from, but if you haven't shared yet, make sure that you just type in the chat box while we wait for a minute or two for people to join in. Just type in your name of your city and the country, just so that we can notice where everyone's coming from. So the chat box is going to be your friend today. If you have a question, put in the chat box. I'm going to note that down, and we're going to answer all those questions at the very end. It's going to be a really interactive session. That was one of the focuses for today. It's not just a presentation. People get bored of just presentations. It's going to be interactive. We're going to ask you questions in between. We're going to make sure that the time that you spend today is made full use of so that you can take action in your life. We've got Shirley from Lethbridge. We've got Steph from Austin, Cher, Maple Ridge, Canada, Robert from Vancouver, BC, Karen from Vancouver, BC. So Vancouver is representing over here. I was just afraid that, people in Vancouver, might not be there that many, but we already have so many Vancouver people. So I love Vancouver. All right. We are at 6. We wait, one more minute. Some people might have a bit of a technical challenge in getting in. We have Val from Victoria, BC. Victoria, BC is a place that I've been wanting to go for the longest time. I haven't been to Victoria. Beautiful place, capital of the province. Lisita, Stony Creek. Yeah, I will for sure. So much sunshine in Victoria. Vancouver has become Snowcouver from Raincouver because we're getting a lot of snow these days. Yeah. All right, so I guess we are ready to begin. Today's webinar, like I said, is not going to be just a presentation. If you have any questions, make sure you use the chat box. It's going to be very interactive. So I think we have a quorum here. We have about 78 people. Isn't that amazing?
Wow, that's fantastic.
Beautiful. In that case, let us begin. Please let me know if you're able to see this slide clearly, because that is really, really critical. Just say yes if you're able to see the slide. Wonderful. All right. So Action Tribe, the topic for today is intuition. More specifically, we're going to talk about the 7 steps that you need to take in order to awaken your intuition, right? And our guest teacher for today is Dr. Leslie Phillips, who you met a while back. And we're going to learn more about her in a short while. But let me ask you a question before that. Have you ever had an intuitive experience? In the chat box, If it's yes, yes. If it's no, no. Beautiful. We have some people who already have had intuitive experience. So we're going to dive deeper into this topic, but interaction is going to be critical. So we've already have a couple of people who've had that glimpse of intuition in the past, and with that, I'm going to make you two promises, two things that you're going to learn for sure today. We're going to walk you through the 7 steps to really awaken your intuition, and we're going to do it one by one because, as you guys know, I love structure. The information that you're going to receive today is going to change your life for sure, because you will get to know about some of the blocks that are currently preventing you from accessing your intuition in the first place, right? But that's just the beginning of the journey, because getting to know the 7 steps is one thing, and knowing how to take those steps to really transform your life is another thing. We have 60 minutes today approximately, and we can only go so deep on this particular training. But I know that some of you might really want to go deeper than this training today, and that's why, and that's where my second promise comes. For those of you who want to dive deeper, for those of you who are ready to unlock your intuition and to really transform your life fast, we're going to invite you to be a founding member of the Unlock Your Intuition program, which begins on January 1st. Make sure you stay to the very end, because we're going to reveal more details about how to become a founding member right before today's session. Now, let's talk about some housekeeping. If you have any audio or visual issues, 90% of those can be addressed or resolved by just refreshing your browser. Make sure that you're shutting off any unnecessary browsers like Facebook or Skype, because those apps take up a lot of bandwidth, and that might affect your experience. You know, your video might be a little grainy. What we're going to share today requires a lot of focus and is going to be extremely, extremely valuable to you. So make sure you turn off any distractions, maybe your mobile phone, maybe Gmail, any of those apps, right? So you might be wondering, am I in the right place right now? Right? You've signed up, you're here. So you're in the right place if you had certain experiences so far that you can't quite explain. Maybe you've received nudges or messages. You're not able to trust them. Maybe you've faced a lot of uncertainty in your life, and you want to find ways to overcome them by overcoming the blocks that are limiting you right now. And you want to tap into your intuitive gift by taking action. So if you resonate with any of the reasons above, hang in there. You are in the right place at the right time. Because our special guest for today is no stranger to my 7 chakras. This is going to be her 3rd appearance on the show. The first time, she spoke about finding your life purpose using the power of the chakras. Then she appeared again on our show to talk about grounding and centering meditations. And today she's here to teach us and walk us through the 7 steps to awaken your intuition. So I'm going to read out her bio. Dr. Leslie has offered intuitive sessions since '96 and has taught meditation and intuitive development since 2003. Over the years, she has provided spiritual guidance and mentoring to thousands of people and many corporations. She's the author of a spiritual novel called The Midas Tree, plus 3 non-fiction books on spirituality and a card deck that opens the intuition and creativity. She is happiest when being of service, whether at a speaking engagement, teaching in a class, giving a healing, or mentoring her students. So without further delay, I present to you Dr. Leslie Phillips. Dr. Leslie, are you ready to inspire?
I am absolutely ready to inspire as much as I possibly can. And I'm so grateful for everyone that's on the call today. Thank you so much for your presence. And so let's get started. And I'm starting here with a quote actually from Albert Einstein. And the reason is it describes my personal journey really well. I started out in life, probably like most of you, being told to honor the servant and ignore the gift. But I turned it around, and so can you. And that's what this training is all about. It's about reorienting us so that we can honor the sacred gift of intuition that we all have. So here we go. So first of all, what is intuition? What is it? This is a simple dictionary definition. The ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. But Action Tribe, you might also be wondering, well, how does intuition relate to the chakras? What's the relevance of the 7 chakras to intuition? And of course, mainstream teachings tend to focus on the chakras with respect to health and well-being, but they are also channels for your intuition. And so together tonight, we're going to go on a journey to explore the 4 most common types of intuition, to discover their relationship between the chakras, and also to learn the most common blocks that people experience when they want to access their intuition, and find out what the steps that you need to take in order to overcome them. So why would you want to awaken your intuition? There are enormous benefits to awakening the intuition in all areas of life. And as I go through these areas on the slide, let AJ know in the chat box which ones you feel, which ones appeal to you the most. Because we have on the physical level, it can help you to heal yourself. It can help you to manage your pain, increase your energy. Because one of the ways that we access our intuition is through meditation. On the mental level, it can help you be more focused. It can help you increase your clarity, make you better at decision making when you follow your intuitive guidance. And then on the emotional level, it can help you in your relationships. It can help relieve stress and fear and anxiety. And of course, there's all the spiritual benefits of accessing your higher guidance, self-knowledge, knowing your life purpose, and feeling more confident and empowered. So AJ, have we got some comments there?
Yeah, Flavia says definitely spiritual and emotional for me. Leah says emotional and spiritual for me. Tracy says all but the physical are strongest, but I can see where each one was most prominent in my life. She's relating it to her life as well. That's beautiful. So Jan says spiritual and emotional and spiritual. So a lot of people are resonating with the emotional and spiritual aspects. It's beautiful. It's wonderful.
Wonderful. Thank you. So now let's examine some of the evidence, because scientists have actually studied intuition and validated it as being a real phenomenon. So for example, women can predict the sex or the gender of their unborn child with amazing accuracy before they've ever had a scan or anything, beyond the level of chance. 70% of women know whether they're having a boy or a girl. And emergency room doctors and nurses have been shown to use their intuition in the split-second decision-making that has to happen in the emergency room. And they've also done studies with soldiers on the battlefield as well. And so there's a lot of research really going into understanding intuition so that they can take advantage of it for these types of professional situations. So doctors admit when you talk to them that they rely equally on their gut feelings, their insights, their intuition as they do their analytical reasoning. And the same thing for business leaders. Sometimes business leaders need to make a split-second decision as well. So when they don't have the time to weigh up the pros and cons, they will rely on their intuition, and the business schools are studying this. So is intuition something that only a few people have? You think? We've heard about a few types of individuals that have demonstrated their intuition. What do you think? Let us know in the chat. Do you believe that everyone has intuition?
We have yes, 100%, Chantel. Of course, yes, everyone is intuitive. All right. I think we've got a verdict.
Yes, everyone has it. We simply need to know how to access it and how to let go of our blocks. And so, you know, nearly 100% of people have had a deja vu experience, for example. nearly 100% of people have had a precognitive dream, for example. And up to 20% of people have a lucid dream once a month. And so, you know, this is clear evidence that intuition is a real thing. All right. So, are you ready for the 7 steps to unblocking your intuition, now that we've established some factual basis of things? So if you're ready, grab your journal or workbook or a piece of paper and a pen. And then what I want you to do is, on your piece of paper or in your journal, write at the top of a page 7 keys to experience my intuition style. And then write a list from 1 to 7 and get ready to fill it out. Because we're going to look at the most common blocks to intuition. And these are what cause people the most challenges in their spiritual unfoldment. And then we're going to write down the action steps that are necessary for you to transcend each of these blocks. So here's the first one. My life is too busy. Do you use this as an excuse to prevent you from doing what you want? Lots of people tell me that they want to focus on their spiritual growth, but then they don't prioritize it. And being too busy is the number one reason. So ask yourself, if you're resonating with this, are you really too busy? Or are you putting yourself last behind a whole bunch of other seemingly important priorities? Are you making excuses? Are you procrastinating? If so, then the first step that you need to take is to develop a consistent meditation practice. So at number 1 on your list, write consistent meditation practice. Meditation allows you to tune out the distractions of your busy life, because your intuition is inside you and you need to turn within to access it. So don't delay. Find a way to develop a consistent meditation habit. Make that commitment to yourself. Now, the Buddha described the human mind as being overrun by drunken monkeys. So is your mind chatter unceasing? Do you obsessively find yourself going over the past or the future, over your to-do list? Or do you have a really strong inner critic or outer judge that will not stop? Or do you have multiple voices going round and round like a herd of drunken monkeys in your mind? Well, if you struggle to get your mind under control, then you need to take step number 2. So on your list, write down under number 2, quiet your mind. Accessing your intuition requires that you can quiet your mind chatter enough to tune in to that still quiet voice inside of you. So wouldn't that be great? I think that's a really common one for people, is that busy, crazy mind that just won't stop. Here's another one. Are you an emotional basket case? Are you constantly going through emotional ups and downs? Does your personal emotional roller coaster distract you from your path and distract you from your life purpose? Or are you one of those people that suffers from the effects of the emotions of others? You get engulfed in other people's emotions. So notice whether that's you, notice whether you resonate with that, and then write down under point number 3, calm your emotions. Allowing your emotions to dominate your reality can cause you to drown out your intuition. So if you're engulfed by emotional overwhelm, then you need to learn how to calm down, how to separate yourself or raise your consciousness above your emotional levels so that you can take charge of your life and tune in your intuition. So the next block to intuition that I encounter is going into effort. People get stuck trying very, very hard. And of course, if you're in effort, that's actually a sign that your body is attempting to dominate your spiritual journey. Spirit operates without effort. So whenever you use effort, guess what? That's your body. And of course, I'm sure most of you know you are not your body, you are spirit. So step number 4 is let go of effort, because your intuition is guidance from you, the spiritual consciousness. Unlike the physical body, you're infinite, you're formless, and you create outside of time and space. So you don't use effort. It's only the physical body and the physical world of form where we're using effort. So step number 4 is release effort. Write that down and let go and allow the God that is you to flow through you. That's number 4, release effort. I'm going to pause and just ask another audience participation question and see how much you've resonated with what we've said so far. So let us know in the chat box if you are challenged by a busy life, a monkey mind, emotional overwhelm, or going into effort. Let us know if one of those jumps out at you, or even if all of them do.
So Well says trying too hard. Flavia says 1 and 2. Too many monkeys says, wow, there are so many comments. I'm finding it hard to catch up. Okay, Shirley says drunken monkeys. Nancy says trying too hard. Busy life, Stephanie says. Leah says releasing effort. So a mixed for sure.
Well, and thank you. And so clearly we're hitting the nail on the head here. We're resonating with everyone. So onwards, we've got another 3 more steps to cover. So here's the next one. I find that people get very confused about their intuition versus their ego. And one of the signs that your ego is getting in your way is if you find yourself getting into competition with others, if you find yourself invalidating yourself, or getting stuck on an expectation about what intuition is, or being fixated on achieving an ideal state of being and an ideal state of consciousness. All of that spiritual perfectionism gets in your way of experiencing your intuition as it is right here, right now, directly in the moment. So write down number 5, I need to let go of expectations, because everyone is unique and each individual has their own unique combination of intuitive gifts and their own unique style of intuition. And you know, they say there are as many roads back to God as there are people, and there are many ways of being intuitive as there are people. So you're different to everyone else around you. So let your unique experience of intuition unfold naturally without superimposing ideas that you've taken on from others or something that you've heard about what it should be like. And here's a good one, fear. And there are so many fears that people have about this subject. Fear is another really big reason why people block their intuition. And you know, I could write a really huge list of different fears. There's some examples on this slide. It can be fear of seeing the truth about yourself, fear of seeing the truth about other people in your life, fear of seeing something really frightening, fear of change. If I open my intuition, I'll see stuff, I'll have to make changes. That's really scary, because what about the impact that that will have on other people in my life? So being afraid. And of course, therefore, step number 6 that you need to take to access your intuition is to banish fear. Let go of your fears. Feel the fear and do it anyway. There's a famous book from about 30 years ago. It's a really good one. Feel the fear and do it anyway, because it's not your darkness that frightens you the most. It's actually your light. So usually the fear of something is a lot worse than the thing itself. So take back your power, eliminate fear. Write down in number 6, banish fear. And then here's the final one. Last but not least, I find that the logical mind is a barrier for most people because it causes them to doubt their intuition. We're so entrenched in having the intellect as our primary operating system, we get confused. That's so dominant, we can't tell the difference between our intellect and our intuition. So you need to learn how to tell the difference so that you can stop doubting yourself and finally trust your intuition. So write down in number 7, trust your intuition. And here are the 7 steps that you need to take to access your intuition. And let us know in the chat box. You've heard 3 more since we chatted last. Let go of perfection, overcome your fears, and trust your intuition. Give us some more information about which ones are resonating with you. And also, if there's something, a challenge that you face that we haven't mentioned, please write that in the chat box too.
Michelle says, ego. Flavia says, expectations get me every time, which is so true. Val says, all 3. Marcia says, we'll need instructions for all of these. Nikki says, trying to fit in. That's ego and expectations.
Yeah.
Claire says, intuition versus intellect is a big one that resonates with me. Banishing fear, Sydney.
Okay, so we're really resonating with all of your blocks and the steps that you need to take. And of course, once you've overcome those challenges, there's a final challenge that can get people, which is to have the courage to take action. A lot of people will, once they start to tune into their intuition and they start to listen to it and they start to know their intuitive messages, get stuck taking action and following their intuition. So this is an important one as well. If your intuition is telling you that this is the right path for you, it's being able to take that leap of faith and actually follow it. All right, so I'm going to finish this section with another quote from a scientist, this time Nikola Tesla. And although he was a scientist, he was not locked in his intellect at all. In fact, he was free to receive his inspiration from spirit. And like Tesla, you are a powerful receiver and you can have access to any information that you need to support your life journey. So who wants to find what their main style of intuition is? Now that we know how to unblock it, what's your main intuition type?
Yes, right. Yes, please.
I'm sure, assuming the answer is yes.
Yeah. Sign me up.
All right.
Por favor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So have you ever experienced a gut feeling about something? And, maybe it was about a person, or maybe it was about a decision that you were pondering on. Perhaps you felt in your gut that somebody wasn't right for you, or there was something wrong with a situation. Or perhaps you had a feeling of excitement in your belly that something good was about to happen. Are you somebody who always knows how other people are feeling, even if they don't tell you? You just have a knack of tuning in to other people's emotions. Or are you the sort of person that can walk into a meeting room and just immediately know the emotional sentiment in the room? Well, if that's you, then you've been experiencing your clairsentience, because they are all examples of an intuitive gift called clairsentience. And it is the ability to tune into the emotions as spirit. Some people call this being an empath. Now, clairsentience is actually an aspect of the 2nd chakra, and that's the one that's 2 finger widths below your navel. And clairsentience is, its primary purpose is in body-spirit communication, because your body gives you, the spiritual consciousness, feedback about how it's doing, how it's experiencing the life, how it's coping with the life experiences that you're putting it through. So clairsentience is actually your ability to interpret those emotional frequencies coming from your body. And of course, you can use it on yourself, but you can also use it to tune into other people. So here's a past student of mine. Her name is Marika. She's a real person. And, you know, when she came to me, her life was fraught with emotional ups and downs. So I helped her master her second chakra, and she turned her challenge into an opportunity. So after our working together, she trained as a doula, and now she's an expert in the second chakra. She uses her mastery of her second chakra to really tune in to women and who are going through childbirth. Okay, so now here's another one. Have you ever known something without knowing how you know or why you know? There was no logic involved whatsoever in you knowing. It was just instantaneous. So for example, you were driving to work, and you instantly knew you should take another route. And then later you hear on the radio that there was an accident on your usual route. That's your knowingness. Or have you had the experience of knowing the answer to a question or a subject that you've never studied? I'll give you an example. Maybe your friend has got a cough and you instantly know a herb that she should take, and then you Google it and find out, wow, I was right. I don't know how, but I was. So anything like that, instant knowing. If you resonated with those examples, then you have experienced claircognizance, otherwise called knowingness, and it is the ability to instantly tune in to your higher knowing. And it's accessed through the crown chakra. And of course, the crown chakra connects you with source energy and your higher wisdom. And it helps you enter the space where everything is knowable. And so you can access anything that you need to know to assist you on your journey this lifetime through this ability of claircognizance. Here's another client of mine. Her name is Nikki. It's not her real name. She's incognito, but she is a real person. And she said, well, she's really come a long way from when I first met her. She grew up with very controlling parents, and she, as a result, tended to gravitate towards other abusive relationships as an adult, including boyfriends, and she even got involved in a cult. So she came to me just after actually just before she left the cult. So we worked very much on Nikki's crown chakra. And one of the main things we had to work on is helping her validate herself and validate her that she knew her own mind, because she'd given her power away to other people. So over time, she cleared the blocks, and now she's a real firecracker. She knows what she wants and she's out to get it. So that's Nikki, an example of knowingness. And here's the next one. Have you ever seen something that wasn't really there or that other people couldn't see? For example, did you have an invisible friend as a child? Have you ever seen a ghost or an angel or somebody who'd passed away after they had died? Or have you seen colors around people or had visions of other realities? If so, then you've been experiencing your clairvoyance already. And this is the ability to see spiritual phenomena, to tell the truth from a lie, to see clearly about yourself and your life creations and other people. And it gives you the gift of neutrality as well. It's an aspect of the sixth chakra. And of course, this is the one that we call the third eye. And it's the one that most people think about when intuition is mentioned. It's the seat of the soul. It's the place where you, the spiritual consciousness, is actually meant to sit within your physical body so that you can guide your life and be in charge of it. So I think of it as your spiritual driver's seat. It gives you the gift of neutrality and acceptance of what is. Now, we've got someone from Australia. Here's a client of mine from Australia, Christina. She's actually an engineer, and she was having unexplained experiences. Visual experiences, and she was curious to know more about what was happening with her, but she also was suffering from intense self-doubt. So even though I validated that she was a gifted clairvoyant, she didn't quite believe it yet. So we spent time working together, and I showed her how to consciously tune into her clairvoyance rather than just have it happen in a haphazard way, and validated her experiences. And actually the doubt was coming from her intellect. So I taught her techniques to bypass her intellect. And now she's much more confident, and she uses her intuition to guide her life decisions. Here's another one. And a very common example of this is if you're just dropping off to sleep, or you're just waking up and you hear somebody say your name. Or maybe you've heard beautiful music when there's no music playing anywhere, perhaps when you were in trouble. And then you turn the radio on, for example, and the exact same song that was playing in your head with just the exact right message that you need to hear is playing. So that's clairaudience. Clairaudience is the ability to hear spiritual phenomena, and you can use it to talk to your guides, to be uplifted to higher frequencies of joy in the angelic realm, for example. And there's another one here I just want to mention, which is the inner voice. Clairaudience and the inner voice are different. Your inner voice is you talking to you, the higher consciousness, talking to you, the body personality, whereas clairaudience is someone else talking to you. Both are aspects of the fifth chakra. So your clairaudience and your inner voice are forms of inner listening. And the fifth chakra, of course, is the communication chakra. And there are many other intuitive abilities that are channeled through this energy center. Telepathy is one of them, for example. So here's an example of someone who came to me with questions about this. Another scientist, and unexplained voices in his head, and original music playing in his head, and he wanted a logical explanation. Now, I wasn't able to give him a logical explanation, but I was able to give him a spiritual perspective that he was opening his clairaudience, and he was actually channeling spiritual music. And so now he's not a trained musician, but he's using his gift to create music. So we've talked about four intuition types, four main intuition types. And so I want to do a quick chat now just to see which ones people resonate with the most. So far in your life, have you mainly experienced your clairsentience, which is feeling things, your claircognizance, which is knowing things, your clairvoyance, which is seeing things, or your clairaudience, which is hearing things? Let us know.
All right. Dana says clairsentience. Nikki says, Sydney says claircognizance. Alicia, clairsentience. Marcia, clairsentient. Many of them are clairsentient, experiencing clairsentience. Yeah. That
doesn't surprise me. It is that the knowingness and the clairsentience are two of the most common ones. And clairsentience, we're all using it. We're all using those all the time, even if we recognize it or not. Okay, so I'm going to finish with one more quote, which is from Mahatma Gandhi. And he had the courage to listen to his inner voice in the face of massive opposition. So even if he was the only one hearing that voice, he trusted it. So now I'm going to hand back to AJ.
Thanks, Leslie. Every time I listen to that presentation, I learn something more, and I'm able to grasp something new as well. So thanks a lot for that one presentation. Action Tribe, we've given you a lot of information today. Action that will enable you to become more aware of what's stopping you so that you can take steps towards finding your intuition. But at this point, you need to jump. We've actually gone through the 7 steps that you need to take in order to discover your intuition type. We've spoken about the challenges that you might face on your journey. We've also told you about the different intuition types and the correlating chakras that are going to be key to uncovering your gift. You've also heard about some people, just like yourself, who have worked with Dr. Leslie to improve their lives. But this is not the end. In fact, this is just the beginning. And you have a long and at times winding road that you will need to take before you're able to unlock your intuitive gift. And I know that many of you would like to do it along with a coach, with a guide, and someone who can take you step by step straight to your end goal. Next slide, please. Next again.
Oh, sorry.
Next. Yeah, and that's why I want to invite you to be a founding member of Unlock Your Intuition Blueprint Training. It's a 12-week training program that will change your life, and that begins on January 2nd, January 16th. My bad. This program will help you unlock the key blocks that are currently keeping you from unlocking your intuition type. Now, I know that for many of you, this is not the first program that you've heard about as it relates to intuition. But so many programs fail you, right? And there are a couple of reasons for that. Number one, next slide. Number one is the teacher is unavailable. There are many courses that are attended by literally thousands of students, and it's not physically possible for the teacher to give individual attention, which is so critical for a course on intuition. And secondly, because there are so many students, it's important to be a part of a community, but sometimes you feel a little vulnerable amidst strangers, and that might really limit your ability to perform to your fullest during the course. The next point is something that I'm sure many of us can relate with. You're all charged up. It's the beginning of the year. You're all inspired. You take classes. And then after a couple of weeks, life catches up, right? You get busy, you skip classes, and sometimes you find yourself back to your old ways again. And we've got a couple of systems that will help you with this. And finally, many courses are just simply expensive. So you begin to use your rational mind to sort of wonder whether this is the right product for you, and you don't take action. And this program is different. Next slide. This program is all about providing you that one-on-one interaction with the teacher, Dr. Leslie, the creator of the course. We're going to tell you how in a bit. And it's going to be a small, intimate group of like-minded folks, people who will soon become friends with you, people who will develop long-term relationships with you, and people who you will feel safe with. We also have an optional accountability system, a buddy system, where Dr. Leslie will pair you up with another member who will share the experience with you and hold you accountable to taking action. And finally, this program is definitely going to be affordable and extremely valuable, and we're going to show you why in a bit. Now, you might be wondering, the details of the program are great, but is this program really for me, right? Because it's a personal experience. So let's take a moment to understand who this program is for. You are someone who wants to receive higher guidance. You want to learn to trust your intuitive messages. You want to overcome your uncertainties and really clear what's blocking you at this point and take action, because action is so critical, right? And it's for people who will do the work, operate from free will, and people who know the importance of practice, practice, and practice. Because the bottom line is that the process works. There are people who have gone through this process and have seen the results. But there are some people who this product isn't for as well, right? Next slide, please. People who want a quick fix, people who don't believe that there's some inner healing involved, and people who are maybe skeptical about intuition in the first place. And someone who wants someone else to do their work instead of themselves, because while this is a course, this is going to be along with someone who's going to guide you. You'll have to do the work yourself, and you need to be committed to personal growth. And growth is change, and sometimes change is not welcome, right? But if you're ready to embark on your journey, then this invitation is for you. Welcome to Unlock Your Intuition Blueprint, which begins on January 16th. So let's go a bit deeper. What's going to be covered? There are going to be 7 modules, starting from developing a consistent practice and learning how to quieten your mind at the very beginning, and at the end, overcoming your fears, and then learning how to trust your intuitions. Now, these modules are going to be taking place live. Of course, in case you're busy, or maybe you're at work or you can't make it, you can watch the recorded sessions later on. Each module will include, next slide, please. So you'll have a live teaching component. Like I said, you can access that later on. You'll have live Q&A sessions. So make sure you note down your questions after you go through each module, which you can ask at during the Q&A sessions. You also have an optional buddy system that will help you make a new friend, as well as ensure that you are held accountable for taking action. You'll get access to a private Facebook group where you can share, you can collaborate, provide feedback, and really be a part of a community. And then you'll have a 30-minute one-on-one mentoring session with Dr. Leslie Phillips herself, because many people have said that the mentoring itself is worth the value of the entire course because of the level of support that you get one-on-one. And for those of you who love to read, you'll also get the print version of Unlock Your Intuition that contains some meditations that you'll be learning in the course, and you can read them at your leisure. You'll also get Portico, which is a card deck that will help you tap into your intuitive gift using the language of symbols. So it gets interesting. And then once you finish the course, you complete courses 1 through 7, you get to choose your own intuition course, because you'll get an idea of what type of intuition or what type of gift resonates with you the most. Right? Because the idea is one of the 4, you'll get to know which one suits you best. And this course will really help you step into that intuitive gift, right? And then Action Tribe, to seal what you've learned by then, you get one more gift, another 30-minute one-on-one session with Dr. Leslie, because we really want this to be your best experience ever. You can use this session whenever you like, but the recommendation is to use it towards the end for an energy check, for some extra training, to resolve a block, whatever you like. Right? And so you might be asking this question, why so many bonuses? The simple answer is that we want you to succeed. And it's the beginning of the year and the best time to make a change. Next slide. And then once you've completed your modules, you've taken your second one-on-one session, it's time to take action. Your final surprise module is all about following your intuition. It's all about bringing together everything that you've learned so far, overcoming that final block that might be preventing you from really accessing your gift, and really taking massive action for that final push, right? And at this point, I'm sure many of you have this question on your mind. That's amazing, but how much does a course like this cost, right? Because that is usually a question that people have. So here are the details. The normal market value for this course is $13.99 US. And the bonus that we're providing you is worth $575, the bonus that I spoke about. Now, keep in mind, there are courses where the bonuses are just thrown in to make it seem enticing and valuable. But let me assure you that a lot of thought has been put in to make sure that the bonus tie directly to what is being taught in the main course. And keep in mind, you also get 2 one-on-one coaching sessions with Dr. Leslie worth $150. So this is the total. If you total that up, what comes is $2,124. But since you're attending this webinar, the founding member webinar, we're definitely not going to charge you the full price. So my question is, how many of you would like a special discount right away? All right. All right, we've got one. Okay. So since you're attending the founding webinar, we're going to straight away slash this amount into half and make it $9.99. And we're going to slash it even more further because we want that good price to be revealed. So we're going to slash off about 30% and make it $5.99. And to make it even more convenient, we're going to give you an option for people who prefer installments and make it 211 into 3. You can pay it in 3 installments. But you know what? This is the price, but you don't have to decide right now. Let us bear the risk because you get 30 whole days to really experience the course for yourself. You get to try and test out the materials, see if it works for you, because we're sure that you're going to love it. You're going to see a transformation. If for some reason you feel it's not for you, just send a quick short email to Dr. Leslie in 30 days, and you'll receive your full refund, no questions asked. Right? And I'm sure, again, many of you might be having this question in your mind, why so low, right? If the course is valued at $2,124 along with the bonuses, why such a low price today? And that's a great question. To be honest, and many of you know this, I've sent a survey to our community to understand some of the challenges that people are facing. And one of the challenges we found is that most courses are expensive and out of reach for those who really want to make a change. And since we've begun a new year, I really urged and persuaded Dr. Leslie to give Action Tribe a special deal only for founding members. Once the founding period is over, the course will get bumped to the regular market price. The only request we have, as Dr. Leslie mentioned, is that if you like the course, make sure you share your experiences with us so that you can add a case study, a review, or maybe a testimonial so that we can attract more action takers just like yourself. Right now, at this point, I'm sure many of you are totally ready to press the button and embark on a brand new life. In fact, I think many of you have already purchased your course, but a few of you are still on what I'd like to call the fence of life. Now, this fence, this metaphorical fence, keeps us back for some reason, keeps us back from taking action, keeps us within our comfort zone, and tells you that change is not a good idea. The fence that prevents you from really experiencing that transformation, right? Have you ever faced that fence of life uh, in your experience? In the comments, please. And my objective with my show, with my webinar, is to push you beyond that fence, irrespective of what action you want to take in your life or transformation. My job is to push you beyond the fence, right? So for all you amazing people, we are adding an action taking bonus. The first 5 people to hit the purchase button below right away will get not one but 2 additional 30-minute breakthrough sessions with Dr. Leslie. And in case you're wondering what that button is, under offers below the screen, you'll see a yellow button. And in case you want to join us and become a part of this program, then you just need to press this button and I'll tell you more. But the first 5 will actually get a total of 4 30-minute one-on-one sessions with Dr. Leslie, which in my opinion, is real steal, right? Think about it. You'll get 2 hours with the course creator, but you have to take action right away. So let's recap. Next slide, please. The main course is valued at $13.99. The bonuses that we're providing you are worth $575, along with 2 coaching sessions worth $150. There are loads of bonuses. Once you complete the main course, you get to choose 1 out of 4 intuition gifts as a course. You get Portico Soul Essence cards. You get your Keys to Intuition ebook companion. You get bonus foundational videos to really build your foundations in terms of what is going to be taught. You get to attend weekly Q&A sessions to answer all the questions that you might have. You get to be a part of a community on Facebook. You get that buddy support, which is optional, so that you can get paired up with someone who will hold you accountable to taking action. You get 2 30-minute one-on-one sessions, which are really priceless. And the first 5 people to join today will get 4 mentoring sessions instead of the 2 that are regularly offered. If you decide right away, you get all of this for $599 or 2-on-1 in 3 monthly installments, right? Now, I'm sure many of you might be thinking at this point, what results can you expect from this course personally, right? So let's talk about it. Just imagine a life where you're able to melt away stress at will, that feeling of greater clarity, no matter what your task is, and more happiness. What's the value of greater confidence in your life, action taker? Confidence that stems from within and not from outside. You'll be able to connect with your higher self to access that infinite wisdom, and ultimately you will be able to take better decisions for yourself. But this is not just me who is telling you this. Let's hear from some of Dr. Leslie's previous students. We have heard about Elaine before. Dr. Leslie knows her stuff. She teaches you tools which are useful and practical to use in everyday situations. Her courses are filled with lots of good information without any BS. I would highly recommend everyone to attend. Next slide. Sandra says, working with Leslie is a life-changing experience. Her ability to intuitively guide deeper inner work is unique. I value the tools I received. They support me in anchoring my changes while empowering me to love and appreciate my own abilities and gifts and to live my life even more fully. And finally, we have Donna Whip. I have been fortunate to have found Dr. Leslie, as the help I've received has been life-altering. I learned processes that have enhanced the quality in my life, in ways that I never thought possible. I have previously tried several different types of personal development without this kind of success. So Action Tribe, in short, you are in safe hands. And because you're here today, because you're a founding member, you'll have access to this course at a fraction of the actual price, $599 in full and 2-on-1 in installments. To enroll in the program, all you need to do is click on the orange button below, which says, yes, I want in. Or you can type the web link, my7chakras.com/action. And once you click the button, here's what you're going to see. You need to make a selection based on whether you choose to pay the full amount or via installments. Then you need to add your sign-up details. Next slide, please. No, it's powered by Stripe. It's completely a safe transaction, so you don't have to worry. And as soon as that goes through, you can start learning. So it's that simple. And then next slide. Once you actually start learning, this is how the course console is going to look. Really simple, really straightforward. Next slide. In case you're attending the live recording of the module, this is how it's going to look. But remember, don't worry in case you miss the live recording. You can always view it later at your convenience, because this is a self-paced course. All you need to do is ensure that you have the schedule in front of you, you do the homework, take action, and you will see results. And for those who are ready already to join and kickstart 2017 in a beautiful and powerful way, here's your invitation to unlock your intuition, which is really a founder's program, a 12-week program, which will begin on January 16th. You will receive the weekly schedule as soon as you enroll. That will allow you to attend the module recordings and the weekly Q&A sessions as well. Next slide. Next slide. Now, in case you want to call somebody, you prefer the good old phone, make note of this number so you can ask more questions that you might have about the program. I'm going to pause here for a second. Next slide. But like I said earlier, we've come to the end to make that change, to transform your life, to connect with your higher self, to make 2017 your best year ever, irrespective of whether you're going to take this course or not. You need to take action today itself. And with that, we've completed our presentation and we are ready for some questions. Just use the chat box. I'm going to collect the questions and we're going to answer them one by one. We're going to wait a couple of seconds. All right, Dr. Leslie, Nikki asked this question, and I believe another person asked as well. Where do dreams fit in with all of this? You know, because people have started a dream journal, but they want to know how to go forward with this.
Well, so that's a fantastic question. Where do dreams fit in all of this? And dreams relate to a chakra that we didn't talk about today, and intuitive gifts that we didn't talk about today. So your third chakra, which is the one in your solar plexus, is responsible for energy distribution, out-of-body experience, and out-of-body memory. And so things like astral travel, and of course, that's what dreams are. When you go to sleep at night, you're leaving your physical body and you're having out-of-body experiences. And those out-of-body experiences are taking place not in physical reality, not in the world of form, but in non-physical reality, sometimes on the astral plane, and sometimes even beyond the astral plane. And so the astral plane affords you with an enormous dimensionality of experience that you cannot have through your waking reality, because in your waking reality, you're limited by time and space. And so we leave the body at night and we have all of these amazing adventures. And, you know, our life journey is how we expand our consciousness, but we also create and have experiences on multiple other realities. And so your dreams are part of those other realities that you participate in. I hope that that answered your question.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Leslie. Now, really quickly, Nancy Norvell says, I don't see the button. The button is under offers below the screen. Right? So as you click offers, you'll see the orange button, and that will allow you to enroll. Erica says, is it just this time around, or will you be offering this later in the year?
The course will be available later in the year, but as AJ mentioned, this is a great time to join because you would be the founding members and you would get the course at the best price that it will ever be offered for.
Got it. Okay, so Flavia asked the same question. Dr. Leslie, do you have or do you know any exercises to improve lucid dreaming or seeing auras? Or is that something that you're going to talk about in the program?
So the answer to both of those is yes. And in this program, you will definitely be learning a technique that will help you see auras. So seeing auras is something that you do using your clairvoyance, and we will definitely be stimulating that in the course. Now, lucid dreaming is not a specific part of this course, but if you recall those 4 courses that you have a choice of as a bonus, the next one of those that I produce is going to be on astral travel and lucid dreaming. So I do have a lot of information and training materials on that, and it's going to be available as the next thing that I do. But I would also say, for the group of students that come together as part of this founding group, we're going to have our specific trainings, and we're going to have our Q&A sessions. And our Q&A sessions will be to answer your questions about the course and help you with any difficulties specifically with the course. But if we don't use up all the time in the Q&A session, then I'm quite happy to address people's additional questions about intuition.
Got it. Now, Renata asked a really interesting question. How do you recognize if the voice is from outside and not our own mind?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. How do you recognize if it's so here's the thing. I might have to talk about 3 different things here. Your inner voice, we talked about the inner voice and we talked about clairaudience. Your inner voice is a voice that sounds like you. So if it's coming from you, it sounds like you. And if it's coming from outside of you, it's somebody else communicating through clairaudience, then it doesn't sound like you. So there's a definite difference between your inner voice and clairaudience that's coming perhaps from your guide. But I think also you're asking about your mind and your mental activity. And in this training, you're going to be taught some very specific disciplines that help you tell the difference between your mind and your thoughts and you, the spiritual consciousness, and your intuition. And we're going to learn how to do that, how to tell the difference, and we're going to play around and practice with that, so that by the end of the course, that won't be a question for you anymore.
Dr. Leslie, Vanessa asks, classes are so late at night for me on the East Coast, 9 p.m. It seems like it would be hard for her to attend the live classes.
Yeah, it's difficult to find a time that works for everyone, and so 6 o'clock seemed like a good compromise, so that people on the West Coast and the East Coast and everywhere in between could join in. So it might be a little late for some people and it might be a little early for some people, but really in a way, it's the best we can do with the live class. But as AJ said, it's all recorded. And so if you miss a class, if you're feeling too tired one night, then you'll be able to catch it. And of course, I'll also say that in the teaching sessions, we will be meditating. And so meditation really helps you feel better. Whether you're getting home from work and you're feeling stressed, it's gonna help invigorate you again. Or if it's running a bit late, it's also going to help you calm down and relax before you go to bed. And so I'd love to be able to do it at multiple times, but this is really the best option given the time zone differences.
Beautiful. So, Dr. Leslie, you spoke about the different types of intuitions, right? And you spoke about the correlating chakra that's going to be key to unlocking that intuition type. So Jessica Martinez asked, how do you begin the process of clearing your chakras?
The very first session that we will do, you will learn a technique that you can use to clear all of your chakras. And then every week you will learn additional techniques that you can use to clear your chakras. So this course gives you exactly that. It helps you start clearing your chakras in a very, what's the word? You know, we start with a strong foundation, and we're building it up every week so that you're learning more, you're practicing more, you're clearing more. And we actually have a questionnaire at the start of the course and the same questionnaire at the end, because we want to track what's happened with you. You know, what shifts have you seen? And I bet by the end of the course, you will have made some massive shifts, and your chakra system will be clearer than it has ever been before because of the techniques that you'll be learning.
Perfect. I'm just trying to see if we have any other question. Nancy asks, can I sign up next Wednesday when I get paid?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Let me see if we have any other
I think she can. AJ, you know the timing of how long the window's open. I think she can.
Yeah. I think the idea of this course, because we've not launched officially, this is a founding members course. We want to make sure that everyone's not put out of inconvenience. You know, everyone's got their own challenges, but people want to make a difference in their life. So we can make certain exceptions.
Great.
Let me see if you have any other questions, because I want to make sure we answer all these questions. And Action Tribe, if you're still here, any question you have, post it in the chat box below, because we're not going without answering your question. No matter what the question is, we're going to make sure that we answer all your questions. Okay, so Anderini asks, what kind of assignments or homeworks will we be assigned?
Great question, Anderini, and hi. So this is the thing. The way the course is constructed, you will have a live teaching every week and a live Q&A every week. And also for every module, there is a workbook. And that workbook has, it accompanies that module. It has some suggestions for what you can do. And how much of it you do is really up to you. And so there's some tips and tricks that people can try for things that might work for them or might not work for them. And then there's some specific exercises and instruction about how to use what you've learned this week to clear the blocks that you're working on this week. Now, this course, if you sign up, you're going to have access to that course environment beyond the 3 months. And you can download all of this information anyway. And so, you know, how much homework there is actually how much homework do you want there to be? Because it's teaching you how to do the work for yourself. It's giving you a foundation that you can use for the rest of your life. But you can continue after the course is finished with what we've learned in the course. So I hope that makes sense, because everybody's different. And so what I've done is I've made some suggestions for the real keeners who want to spend a really long time every day. And then, you know, other people can roll it out for themselves more slowly. But I'll give you guidance every week on, you know, out of all the things in the workbook, this is the thing to prioritize. And then the rest of it you can get to in your own time. So there's some flexibility in it, because I know people are different and you know, things come up in your life.
Beautiful.
Hope that helps.
So Brooke Simon asks, I identify with a few of the intuitive abilities. Is it best for me to work on them one at a time?
Yeah, so, and of course, this is true for all of you, that you have I mean, we talked about what's your main intuition type, but as an opening to sort of help you start to explore this and open this up within yourselves. But all of you have many ways of being intuitive. And so I would say, yes, it's best to do it in a step-by-step way, because otherwise you will get overwhelmed. And depending on which ones were coming up for you, what I normally recommend for people is starting with the clairvoyance, because the clairvoyance gives you such an amazing grounding for all of the it's like a platform to jump off for all of the other intuitive abilities, because what your clairvoyance gives you is it gives you your neutrality. It gives you your neutrality, and that is in this intuitive work, that's so invaluable. And so if you were looking for some guidance and you had all of them going on, I'd say go for the clairvoyance to start.
Thanks for sharing. Karen asks, what is the significance of being a founding member compared to others who will take this course later on?
So you're getting it at the best price that it will ever be offered. And AJ also said that, as he explained, we'd love to get your feedback on the course as well as part of participating as a founding member. And I would also say, the other thing I would also say is, right now, you are guaranteed to get my personal attention. If this becomes massively successful, that could change as well, although hopefully not.
Yeah. We'd like to keep it small. Yeah. And especially right now, you're assured that it's going to be a smaller, more intimate group, more amount of sharing. You get a better price. And also from a times perspective, you're at the beginning of the year, which is the best time to really make a change. So yeah, multiple differences as compared to someone who will be joining in much later. So Vanessa asks, can one pay installment and take the equivalent number of classes?
So you can pay in installments, and the 30-day money back guarantee actually enables you to go fairly far into the course to see if you like it. So you could pay by installments and take that first month and then decide. So I think the answer to your question is yes.
Yep. Awesome. Any other question, Action Tribe? Make sure you answer any question that you might have, because we're here. We're going to answer the questions. And of course, if you can't ask the question right now, you can always email us. You can email me at aj@my7chakras.com. Send in your questions, whatever you had. Send in your thoughts, your feedback, your views on the webinar. It's because we're always looking to improve, make the guest experience wonderful. So make sure you send me an email. Even one line is wonderful. aj@my7chakras.com. I think we have one more question. So Courtney asks, is one kind of practice best to use to get started?
In my opinion, the practice that I'll be teaching you is, well, it worked for me. So yes, I'll be guiding you in a specific practice because it's the practice that I recommend. And the specific practice that I'll be teaching you, by the way, is a very ancient practice that has been on the planet for thousands of years. In all the old ancient mystery schools, this is what they did to activate and access their intuition. And so, of course, is it the only way? Well, there might be other ways, but this is the way that is tried and tested and true through the ages. And all of the testimonials that you saw from people in the presentation, these are the techniques that they have learned that have helped them in their lives. So I'd say, yes, it's best to start with a specific practice. And of course, I advocate the one that I'm teaching.
Beautiful. Now, Courtney is really asking some really interesting questions. She says, does it make sense to pull the color energy of one chakra into another to bolster and aid? Is it my intuition that keeps seeing this in my mind?
So that's a very interesting question, isn't it? Now, of course, all the chakras are, they're interacting and communicating with one another all the time. But I think what Courtney might be tuning into, and this is something that we'll be learning on the course, is that apart from your chakras, there are energy channels that run through your body. They're called meridians in Chinese medicine, and you can learn to consciously run specific types of energy through those meridians, and you can learn to see the energy running through those meridians and use it to heal yourself and clear your blocks. Now, there are energy channels that run up the front of your body, and the energy from those energy channels flows from front to back through all of the major chakras. So I suspect that what's happening with Courtney is she's actually tuning into that flow of energy coming up her front channels and seeing it branch off into multiple chakras.
Beautiful. I think we've covered all the questions that we've received. In case there are any more questions, please note them down. Dr. Leslie, can we move to the previous slide with the number on that so that people can at least note down the number in case they want to?
There it is.
Okay, perfect. So this is the number, Action Tribe. I know that a lot of you need to go. You're busy, you're taking action. So many of you all are mothers, you've got kids to manage, which I highly respect. And the fact that you've come to this webinar is phenomenal. So thanks a lot for coming to the webinar, being a part of a community in another format. Many of you are used to podcasts, and now we're on webinars. So thanks a lot for trusting me. We've had an amazing time here. I don't know about you guys. I've had a phenomenal time here connecting with Action Tribe one-on-one. Once again, thanks a lot, Dr. Leslie, for your time. Always love listening to what you say again and again. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you so much. And thanks to everyone for attending.
Beautiful. So you will receive a link with the replay in case you want to catch it up once again. And till that time, let's keep taking steps towards a human revolution. Thank you.